to be back with you guys after a few months of kind of taking a hiatus from my shop move. Pardon the background, I'm still moving in, I'm still getting everything unloaded, so everything's a mess around here, but you know, I'm here with my baby. You guys know how much I love my bad boy. And a few months ago, I made this stainless steel exhaust. I repurposed a Milwaukee 8 exhaust because I couldn't find a good 2-in-1 exhaust for the bad boy. If you go back and watch that video, and I'll put the link below. Watch that video. I really wanted to put a SuperTrapp on the bike, but I just couldn't find a decent SuperTrapp. Well, just a few weeks ago, I went to Minneapolis for the Donnie Smith Show. I've known Donnie for years. I love the guy, love his work, respect what he does, and his show is a great time. If you ever get a chance to go to the Donnie Smith Show. But I was at the Donnie Smith Show, and they have a huge swap meet in the back. And in the back, I found this. Boosh. This is a near mint SuperTrapp from the 1990s. They're just so hard to find, and when you find them, they're almost always beat up. They're almost always tore up, especially on the back end where they've been ground on the ground from been on a lowered bike or being laid down. This one is near mint. I grabbed it right away, and I'm going to put it on the bike before I take my ride home today. My ride home is 55 miles. From the shop. I'm a little bit further than I used to be, so I have a 55-mile commute each way every day. So before I leave today, I'm gonna get the SuperTrapp on this bike and ride home with a smile on my face. So you know, I'm not afraid to say I'm stuck in the 90s. I mean, I love 90s grunge, and I love the bikes from the 90s, and there's so much about it that I think was awesome. It was, you know, when I really decided that this is what I was gonna do for a living, and so this is my favorite time. Even though I like older bikes, you know, I really prefer, you know, old flatheads and stuff. I mean, that's my trip, but the 90s are just very special to me. So finding a pipe like this that's from that era is just really cool. You know, I looked and looked and looked, and got hopeless, like, okay, I'm just not gonna find it. I just gotta accept the fact that I'm not gonna find one. So I went and made this thing. And I don't know what I'm gonna do with this pipe. You know, I'm gonna take it off. It'll fit any Evo or a twin cam. It's good for fuel injection because it's got the air fuel sensor ports in the back of the pipe because it's the FM8. So, you know, I can kind of put it on anything. I'm just gonna hang it up in the shop, I guess, for now. And, you know, maybe it'll find itself a home someday. Fun fact, everything's loose. I've been riding this thing so much, all the exhaust stuff is loose. The pipe's about ready to blow off the bike. I thought it was starting to sound a little different, which should have been, I guess, the first clue, but I've been so busy I hadn't really taken a look at it. But yeah, it's loose as a goose, man. Now, I've been threatening to do an FXR for a long time, and maybe this pipe would be good for an FXR. You know, I think FXR looks fantastic with a 2-in-1. I never was really into it that much on the Softail, 2-in-1. I started seeing the Europeans were doing it in the 90s. They were real heavy into it, using Kirkers and SuperTrapps, and that's kind of how I fell in love with it. But there she goes, she's off. All right, before I get full-blown crazy, I'm just gonna check fitment. I mean, I'm pretty sure it'll fit, but this pipe is for an FXR. There's a little bit of a difference between the FXR and the Softail pipe in that the Softail pipe came a little bit straighter down here, and that's because some FXRs, most of them had mid-controls, so the pipe was designed to curve around the mid-control. So I just wanna make sure it's gonna fit. I'm not gonna land any surprises. So it looks good. Damn, it looks good. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it mounted up. Then I gotta do the rear mount. There's no rear mount for it. You see it has a rubber mount that would go on an FXR. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I made this stainless mount for my 2-in-1 pipe that came off of the passenger peg mount. But the SuperTrapp has a little FXR rubber mount that would mount off the back of the transmission here. So I'm gonna have to make a mount to get this collector mounted up to the bike, and I'm missing the clamp here. I probably have one. I'm gonna go ahead and look, but if not, I'll figure that out too. But I'm gonna get the pipe mounted to the heads first, and then go ahead and figure out where that rear mount needs to go. That's just laying in there right now. It's gonna angle up a lot more in the back. It's just kind of laying against the bike now. I'll go ahead and get the exhaust flanges on the headers, get it bolted up, get the clamp on the collector, and then figure out where that rear mount's gonna go. So these ring spreaders aren't mandatory, but it sure makes it easy. These are from Snap-on. Just for comparison, there's the SuperTrapp in the front and the pipe I did in the back. You can see SuperTrapp's considerably longer, probably gonna run better because of the length. A little bit sleeker. Mine's a little bit shorter and chunkier, but both of them look great on the bike. But me, I'm in love with that SuperTrapp. That's how I'm going. And I just put the flanges back on these pipes with the little counterbore facing up. Put my retaining rings on. That easy. I would normally put new exhaust gaskets in. I'm not putting them in because I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that in the next couple months I'm able to get my S&S 40th anniversary 110 engine in the bike. I bought this used S&S 40th anniversary 110 Evo used. It's really nice. They only made 400 of them for the 40th anniversary. They're really hard to find, and you know, that was 1998 was their 40th anniversary, and then they had the 50th anniversary in 2008. But by then they had that V-wedge engine. So the last of the good Evos, you know. And I have the engine. I'm ready to put it in the bike with this Baker 6-speed. I just don't have the time because I got so much going on. But anyhow, I'm not gonna change the gaskets now. I'll put the pipe on. I'll be happy with the bike. This 80 cubic inch runs great. And then in a month or two, if I can steal the time away, I'll go ahead and do the engine and show you guys that too. There's the head pipe bolted up. I got it all firmly bolted up. And I pulled the tail section off just so I could put a clamp on it. But there you can see how it looks on the bike. Got a little bit of upsweep, a little bit of upward rake on the bottom of the pipe. I really like that a lot. And when I make the mount, I'm gonna kick that pipe up in the back. It rides pretty straight, the way it should be naturally, but when I make the mount, I'm gonna shove the back of it up so that it looks a lot better. So I found a stainless exhaust clamp. Now I'll go over this. Get this on here. It's a tight fit, which is good. And what I'm saying to you about raking the back of the pipe up is, this is under its own weight, it sags down. Naturally probably sit like that. I'm gonna crank it up as hard as I can with the mount so that it has a little bit of upward rake to it. That'll make a big difference in how this bike looks. There's the mount that I made on the frame right there for the exhaust pipe. It's really simple. It's just 2 pieces of round billet steel stock. I'll pivot this threaded piece up, and then the bolt will go right through this bolt hole with a spacer and hold it all together. It's really hard to see me assembling it under here. It's very hard to get a camera to get into focus, so I'll just go ahead and install it and show you when it's done.